All right, it is now 7 o'clock, so we're going to get started. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Good evening. Welcome to the Japan American Society of Georgia's 2023 Annual Dinner Gala. Woo! We have a lot to party for tonight. My name is Yoshi Domoto. I'm the Executive Director of the Japan American Society of Georgia, and so thrilled to see so many people with us in attendance to celebrate our 43rd anniversary. We're in for a very special evening as we celebrate two of our esteemed members who will be receiving this year's Ambassador Mike Mansfield Awards as well. So thank you to each and every one of you for coming tonight and taking time out of your busy schedules to celebrate with us. For those of you here for their first JASG event, welcome and yokoso. We hope you will enjoy tonight's festivities and learn more about our organization. The Japan American Society of Georgia is a nonprofit organization with the mission to bring together the Japanese and American communities together here in our state. We do that through business, cultural exchange, educational programming, public affairs, and certainly building friendship through social events as well. So we encourage you to join our membership if you're not members already. For all of you members, thank you so much for being a member and being active with our organization. And let us know if we can do anything more to be better in the future as well. But at this time, I'd like to introduce our chair, new chair of the Japan American Society and chair emeritus of the society, Mr. Jim Whitcomb and Ms. Jessica Cork, to come up on tonight's program.
Thank you.
That is good, thank you.
My name is Jim Whitcomb, as Yoshi-san just mentioned. Before we get started, please allow me to recognize some special guests here. First of all, from the Consulate General of Japan, Mio Maeda. Next, from the Georgia House of Representatives, District 42, and co-chair of the Georgia-Japan Legislative Caucus, Representative Terry Analovitz. From the Georgia House of Representatives, District 89, and member of the Georgia-Japan Legislative Caucus, Representative Becky Ivanta. Thank you for joining us. And from the Georgia Economic Development, Deputy Commissioner of International Trade, Miss Mary Waters. From the City of Atlanta, Mayor's Office for International Affairs, Anna Petrova. From the Office of Senator John Ossoff, Miss Chandra Harris. From the Office of Senator Raphael Warnock, Miss Katrina Cochran. And the Chair of the Japanese Chamber of Commerce of Georgia, Mr. Kiyo Kojima. And, of course, our esteemed recipient of tonight's Ambassador Mike Mansfield Award, Mr. Day Lancaster. I would also ask now that all of our board members kindly just stand up so you can be recognized. We have a very large board, it's very active, and we really appreciate it. So everyone who's on the board, please just stand up so we can recognize you. Thank you. And now I'm going to turn it over to Miss Jessica, Chair Emeritus.
To start our evening, I would like to take a moment first to thank our sponsors of the 2023 Annual Dinner Gala for their generous support. You are the ones who make this happen. First, our club member hosts, Mr. and Mrs. Robert and Terry Banta. And our patron sponsors, Munata Electronics North America, Nakato Japanese Restaurant, and Toyo Tire North America. Thank you. Our benefactor sponsors, Baker Donaldson and Kubota. Thank you. Partner sponsors, All Nippon Airways and Lipman CPA. Thank you very much. And special thanks to Toto USA, Daikin Applied America, Ernst & Young, Evershed Sutherland, Miller & Martin, and YKK Corporation of America. Also, please allow me to thank the Society's gold and silver and also other members who have purchased corporate tables for this evening. Their names and logos are listed in your programs and on the scrolling jumbo screen, so let's give them a hand as well.
Also, as you already know, instead of our traditional silent auction, we are hosting a special, Sokubai. That's a quick sale fundraiser for the Society tonight. For everyone's safety and to limit too much contact, you can purchase some very exciting items for sale, including Japanese kimono, yukata set, and the always popular Toto washlet. That's out there, the Atlanta Braves, Falcons, and other sports memorabilia, and also certificates to various restaurants, including the wonderful Nakato, Wagaya, and Taka Sushi. Instead of making bids, all you have to do is purchase the items you want. But first come, first serve, so everyone's got to hurry. Make it to the Sokubai. All right. Next, we're going to have an awards presentation. Ladies and gentlemen, it is now my sincere honor to present the Ambassador Mike Mansfield Awards. The Mike Mansfield Awards were established in December of 1985 by the Executive Committee of the Japan-American Society of Georgia in honor of former Ambassador Mansfield's significant and steadfast efforts in fostering good relationships and goodwill between the Japan and the United States. The awards are presented to outstanding Americans and Japanese who have continuously contributed their efforts toward promoting better understanding of cultural and economic issues between the peoples of the United States and Japan. Among past American award winners include President Jimmy Carter, Georgia Governors Carl Sanders, George Busbee, and Joe Frank Harris, and Aflac CEO Dan Amos. Previous Japanese winners include Ambassador Kazuo Chiba, Murata's Fred Chanoki, YKK's Nick Tsubokawa, and Tad Yoshida. The most recent recipients of the awards were YKK's Alex Gregory and Murata's Tom Yamamoto. So this is a very important award, and it's just an honor to be able to be here and to share this with some of our contributors. This year, the Society is honored to present the Ambassador Mike Mansfield Awards to Mr. Day Lancaster and Miss Yumiko Nakazono. All right, we will first begin by recognizing, sharing the award for Outstanding Japanese to Miss Yumiko Nakazono. Now, she was born and raised in Kagoshima, Japan. She graduated from the Faculty of Law, Economics, and Literature at Kagoshima University, where she majored in English, English and American literature and linguistics. She worked for Fuji's Xerox Corporation before joining Georgia's Japan office in 1989. She was promoted to the position of managing director just 5 years later. She served under 6 Georgia governors, during which time the Japanese corporate presence in Georgia grew significantly. Under her leadership, Japan has become one of Georgia's top foreign investors, with over $11 billion in investment since the 1970s. That's absolutely huge. Ms. Nakazono was also presented the Governor George Busby Award in 2007, which recognizes an individual who has contributed to building ever stronger relationships between Japan and Georgia. Now, you might say, well, where is Ms. Nakazono? I'm so sorry, she's not here with us tonight. She's in Japan. But she's not able to be with us this evening, but she sent a note for us, which I would like to share with everyone. From Ms. Nakazono, quote, "First of all, it is my great honor to receive such a prestigious award as the Mike Mansfield Award. I don't know if I deserve it or not, but I am simply very happy. Since I cannot be there with you at the gala this evening, unfortunately, please allow me to share this message. I worked for the state of Georgia's Japan office for about 32 years, and the most valuable asset I had was the people I met, both in the state of Georgia and in Japan. Through my job, I realized that there were such nice, reliable, and enjoyable people, and I cannot stop thinking that I could have accomplished anything if I wouldn't have had those people in my job or in my life. I always believe that when people get together, we will be able to do great things and accomplish great things together. I was given chances to visit Georgia many times during my career, and every time I visited, I was able to visit various places throughout Georgia, met with great, nice people, and discovered new things in Georgia. Those memories have been kept in my mind without fading. With such a wonderful award related to the relationship between Georgia and Japan, I'd like to keep making my best efforts to further prosperity and development of the state of Georgia with whatever I can do. I thank everyone here very much again, and I hope I can get back to Georgia in the near future, which is my second home, eternally. So, we will be presenting Ms. Nakazono, or Nakazono-san, with this award in Japan when we visit Tokyo for the SUS Japan meetings and the 50th year anniversary event in October. So tonight, for now, that was the presentation. Just know that Ms. Nakazono has done an absolutely outstanding job to bring this community together. And we thank each of you for being here tonight following her. Thank you. Let's see.
And next, it is my very great pleasure to offer a few remarks about someone I admire so much, and my senpai, which is Dei Lancaster. I actually shouldn't even be on this stage. I'm no longer chair, but I called Yoshi and I begged him to let me say a few remarks about Dei. So Dei-san has, of course, had an incredible career. Many of you probably know that he was born in Japan and lived there until he graduated from high school. What I didn't realize until recently, I was looking over some Global Atlanta articles, and his ties to Asia go way back, right? Dei-san, I heard great-grandfather, grandfather, father were missionaries, all serving in Asia. He earned his BA in Japanese Studies, and he worked for Quasar as an interpreter and a liaison between Japanese American managers. And then he helped start a manufacturing operation at Tokri. And then he joined the Georgia Department of Industry and Trade, and he spent 4 years in Tokyo as managing director of Georgia's Far East office, where he led the effort to attract over 100 companies to Georgia. And I want to give a round of applause representing Japanese companies at the Meyer Company, and at NAI Brandon Goddard, he initiated the Japan Corporate Services practice. But also, we need to really recognize Dave for the incredible leader he has been in the Japanese community in Georgia. He served as chairman of the Japan American Society of Georgia and also in leadership roles in the Japanese Chamber of Commerce of Georgia. And in fact, in 2021, he received a commendation from the Foreign Minister of Japan for his work in promoting friendship between Japan and the United States. But what I really want for you to know about Dave Lancaster is the profound impact he has had on the community, on people like me. So when I moved to Georgia from New Hampshire in 2001 to start a new job, I did not know a single person in the state besides my husband. I had just finished living in Japan for 3 years. I was going through a lot of culture shock, and first I was trying to transition back to an American life, and then nobody had told me about the big cultural differences between New Hampshire and Georgia, so I was like really having a difficult time. And I was actually, to be honest, quite homesick. And I was actually working for Kubota at the time, and a colleague at Kubota invited me to attend a meeting of the Yamabiko Kai. And that was probably about 2 months after I arrived. And the Yamabiko Kai was founded in 1993 as a subcommittee of the Japanese Chamber of Commerce to promote mutual understanding between Japanese and Americans who were working for Japanese companies. And Dave was serving as chairman at the time, but really he was the reason the entire Yamabiko Kai kept going. And I, was first of all completely in awe of Dave's Japanese language skills. So of course, polite Japanese people like to say things like, "You speak better Japanese than the Japanese do," but in Dave's case, it was really true. I couldn't believe his Japanese language ability. I really had never seen an American who had acquired his level of proficiency, but I was really so excited to meet someone who had achieved what actually was my own dream, which was to build a career using Japanese language skills. Back in 2001, I didn't know a single person who had done this, didn't know if it was possible, and then I met Day, and he was really somebody that I could look up to. But really more importantly, they really helped me to find my place here in Georgia. So the Yamabiko Kai became really my home, here in those early days. And I think the first person I met was Day, and then I met Alex Gregory, I met Sue Lippman. Sue is here today. Sue's son was one of the first people I met. Leslie Fedota, who worked at the consulate, Steve Leeper, and so many other people who share my love of Japanese culture and commitment to building bridges between the two cultures. And so really, I want everyone to know what an incredible role model that Day has been all these years. And such a mentor for me, 22 years that's been since that, and I really can't thank him enough. So it is really my greatest honor to celebrate his contributions by presenting him with the Mike Mansfield Award on behalf of the JASG. So congratulations.
Picture time. Congratulations, what a great job. It's an honor, man. You've just been working really hard for all these years. We really appreciate it. One more round of applause.
fellow members and friends of the Japan-American Society of Georgia, this evening I am truly honored and humbled to be receiving the Mike Mansfield Award along with Yumiko Nagazono. I can't think of a more fitting fellow recipient, and am delighted that we will be forever linked in this way. It is doubly fortuitous that the physical presentation of the award was delayed until today. First, it now coincides with the anniversary of the establishment of the State of Georgia's Tokyo office, which both Yumiko and I had the privilege to head up. And secondly, when the award was first presented in December of 2020, y'all may remember that time of our lives. Virtually, it was a Zoom meeting held in lieu of the Bonenkai, and I was in the midst of my first bout of COVID, and wasn't able to muster the proper degree of enthusiasm for the occasion, as you might imagine. Well, tonight, I'm healthy and very glad to show everyone in person how grateful I am to receive this distinguished award, the Mike Mansfield Award. This award means a great deal to me, both professionally and personally. When I was posted in Tokyo during the mid-'80s as the managing director of what was then the Asia Pacific office of the Georgia Department of Industry, Trade, and Tourism, I had the privilege and honor to meet Ambassador Mansfield on several occasions. The time I remember best was at a meeting of the Board of Governors of the American Chamber of Commerce in Japan that was held at the American Embassy. Ambassador Mansfield presided and started the meeting off by serving coffee to everyone there, a routine he was well known for performing. The gracious humility and commitment to servant leadership that he demonstrated was very inspiring to me. And, I promise not to get verklempt. And provided an example I have strived to follow ever since. The Mike Mansfield Award also has a particular significance for me because of how it symbolizes the life that Yoko and I have shared in Atlanta. The summer before my posting to the state office in Tokyo, we were introduced by Dr. George Waldner, whom many of you may know as one of the key individuals responsible for the creation of the Japan-American Society of Georgia. Yoko was his house guest while visiting the U.S. with her friend Yuko Yamada, a recent graduate of Oglethorpe University, where Dr. Waldner was serving as Dean of Faculty. Back then, Oglethorpe hosted a summer seminar series for young Japanese businessmen, and it was at the party commemorating the end of that program that Dr. Waldner fulfilled his wish to act as Nakodo, or matchmaker. He obviously did a great job because 2 years later, Yoko and I were married. By the time we returned to Atlanta in 1986, the society was fully established, and we promptly signed up as members, with Yoko volunteering several times a week to help out at the JASG office. In fact, given the time and effort, Yoko has devoted over the years to the society as a volunteer, as administrative staff, and as a wrangler of bulky, heavy, and sweaty sumo suits at Japan Fest when it was held at Stone Mountain. She is at least as deserving of the Mike Mansfield Award as I am. Thank you, Yoko. In closing, I want to thank all of you for the wonderful friendships that have sustained me over the years and for being with me here tonight. Thank you so very much.
And I would be remiss if I did not thank Miss Yoko. Thank you for taking care of Dave and keeping him on the straight path. Thank you very much. Now, we'd like to celebrate one more very momentous milestone. Dave mentioned it while he was up here, but 50 years ago, thanks in part to efforts of the then Governor Jimmy Carter, official relations between Japan and the state of Georgia were first inaugurated in 1973 with the establishment of the Georgia State Department of Industry, Trade, and Tourism office in Tokyo. This was Georgia's first foray in an international office of any kind, demonstrating the state's belief that its relationship with Japan should be of utmost importance. Now, Japan is one of the top foreign investors, as we mentioned earlier, with more than $11 billion since the 70s. A large number of Japanese-affiliated companies, the number of jobs that have been created, that you all are participating in, that you are helping with, this is huge, and we sincerely appreciate it. With both of our Mike Mansfield Award winners having key roles at the state's Tokyo office, and they too have brought many Japanese companies to Georgia, it's fitting that we recognize the 50-year anniversary tonight. Now, it's our honor to present a gift to the Deputy Commissioner for International Trade at the Georgia Department of Economic Development, Miss Mary Waters. Would you please come up to the stage? Thank you. And all your colleagues, and I know that it's a big team, but you lead them well, and we really appreciate it. Thank you. Thank you. Take this as just a certificate to remember, and then what we want you to do, there's nothing in this right now for any of you, but we want you to take this home and fill it up with your favorite soccer. With that, again, thank you very much. Thank you. All right, thank you. All right, thank you very much. Mary, again, thank you very much. Now, to honor all we are celebrating, I would like to ask Consul General Mio Maeda to come up and offer a toast for all the great things that we've accomplished together this year. And so many things that we've achieved. I would also like to ask Mary Waters to come back up and Dave Lancaster, because you guys are going to be helping us with this. Kagami Miyaki. Okay? But first we're going to ask Consul General to do a toast. Do we have something for you?
Thank you very much. And it's very nice to see all of you gathering here today. And it's a great honor for me to join you as well. And well, first of all, I'd like to congratulate Mr. Dave Lancaster and Ms. Nakasono for the Mike Mansfield Award. Well, I can say that because of your dedication and effort, we could enjoy the excellent friendly relationship between Japan and Georgia, which we enjoy today. So we really appreciate your contributions. So thank you very much once again. And also I'd like to thank Jessica-san because you know that the executive team or the board of leadership team of the JASG has changed last week, I think. And in particular, Jessica-san served as a chair right after the pandemic, and her contribution was literally immense, I think. And well, actually, when I came here last November, it was the next day when I arrived here. We had a lunch together, and she was so kind and she was so supportive to me, and it was a very good opportunity, a very good event event that I thought that I pretty thought that I could have a good time with days here in Georgia, and also I think that Jessica-san is the American who I met since many times since I came here. So wherever I attend the event, Japanese-related event, she is always there. So and that fact was also very supportive, very helpful to me. And so for that, I really appreciate your support. And so could you, I try to invite you, all of you, to join me to give her another applause. I'm looking forward to working closely with you, like Jessica-san, and we have a lot of events and things to do from now on. And next month, we're going to have the Japan Fest. And in October, we are going to hold Tokyo is going to hold the Sous Japan conference. And on that occasion, JASG will have a short trip to Miyoshi City and to enhance the bilateral relationship between Japan and Georgia. And also, I have to say that next year, our office is going to celebrate the 50th anniversary of our establishment. So we try to make next year a kind of Japan year. So I want to have as many events as possible to promote Japanese culture, Japanese people, and good relations with Georgia. So I do hope that all of you, all the members of the JASG will extend your helping hand to us as well. And with this, I would like to propose a toast to the prosperity of the members of JASG and further development of JASG and good relations and everlasting friendly relations with Japan and Georgia. So, please join me. Cheers, kanpai.
So what we're going to do is we're going to have these three do something that in Japanese they call kagami bidaki, okay? It's translated into English as opening the mirror. I'm going with whatever you said, okay. It's observed at, look, they do it at special occasions like anniversaries and, the beginning of the year. It's a great thing to do. The ceremony typically involves breaking open a ceremonial sake barrel. Kagami bidaki is symbolic of new beginnings, renewal, and the idea of breaking through obstacles like all of you have in coming together and building businesses here. So, the act of breaking the kagami signifies the shattering of limitations and the welcoming of positive change and growth. As Consul General just mentioned, we're going to see a lot of that in the next year again. So, a lot of stuff going on, and we encourage all of you to continue your great participation. It's also a way, it seemed, to bring good luck and prosperity. So, hey, at a minimum, it's a real good thing. Okay, so what we want to do is each of you grab a hand and strategically locate yourself. And you're going to take your hand up and you're going to hit the end of the top. Let's see if you can see in the mirror. Okay. All right.
We look forward to continue collaborating together this year for the 50-year anniversary here in Georgia and Japan, and next year with the Consulate General's 50-year anniversary, which also next year is the 50-year anniversary of the Georgia-Japan Language School, or the Nihongo Hoshuko. So we have a lot to celebrate for next year as well. But everyone, I know you guys are waiting to eat, so please enjoy your dinner tonight. We do have the Sokubai fundraiser in the back in the Piedmont room, so please help with our fundraising efforts. But better than that, just let's party and have fun and enjoy this evening together. Thank you.